So you want to be a Mihile. Yeah, you want to defend against all enemy attacks and be super tanky, but actively tanky. You picked the right class. So, beginner skills, you have this, which has a cooldown of, a whole day. But I just found out about it. Apparently it works like here. What was it called? Hero's Echo. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I just found out about that. You have the skills that let you go back to a Rev, whatever. And the Link skill, I should probably explain this. The Link skill, when transferred to other characters, gives you 100% stance. When a Mihile uses it, you gain the ability to absorb or pretty much guard 6 attacks. Your damage is increased 20%, and you receive 20% less damage for percent HP attacks. Really good Link skill. Now then, let's get into the actual skills. In first job, you have Soul Blade. Now, this skill only does one line. It's pretty slow. Right now it's only fast for me because of a third job passive. I have a third job passive that allows me to gain 1 attack speed just for having the skill, points added into the skill. But yeah, aside from that, all you have left is Royal Guard, which is going to be very important. Right before you take damage, you press Royal Guard, and you're invincible for, I believe it was 2 seconds? No, 4 seconds. And every time you use it, you get a new attack buff. Of course, there I messed up. It's very timing heavy. And of course, if you have high ping or anything like that, the server latency, it'll cause problems. But it increases your damage, it makes you invincible, and it tanks the hit. It just completely nullifies the hit that you're about to take. So even though you saw me take damage there, like the number popped up, I didn't actually take damage. So that's Royal Guard. You can of course have up to 5 guards. In first job you only have 3 though. And that's it for first job. Second job, you get Booster finally. You also get Rage. Rage increases you and your party members' attack power by 30. Soul Driver is your new mobbing skill. This, I used to just call this Sword Rain. A lot of older players will remember Dawn Warriors used to have this skill. And it was very annoying at Jesters. But now it's a Mihile skill. In fact, I believe Mihile is just the old Dawn Warrior, but made better. And then you have Radiant Driver, which is just your rush skill. I never use it unless I want to reposition in a boss fight. And that looks to be it for second job. Third job. Oh, of course you can heal yourself. In third job, when attacking an enemy that has a status afflicted to them, your final damage is increased by 25% and your crit rate is also increased by 20% on that enemy. And then you just get 2 more Royal Guards. You can, get the 4th and 5th. This buff is just a defense buff. It's not really all that important. I mean, 100% defense, that's great, but it's whatever. Soul Link. Now, I love this skill. It's only really useful in a party, I believe. So, for the Mihile, you gain 5% damage per party member, and you also recover 1% HP for every 4 seconds. You also receive 20% of the party member's damage that can be nullified with Royal Guard. What that means, I probably should learn about that before I made this video, but Now, the party members will share the attack power that you gain with using Royal Guard, but only 50% of that power. And yeah, the rest is whatever. Magic Crash is a skill that it's a debuff to bosses, or enemies. When it's applied to them, it prevents the enemy from buffing themselves, whether it's weapon attack up, damage reflect, weapon cancel, which makes, of course, all weapon damage, what do you call it? Go to 1. It's very, very useful. Most warriors have this. Not all, just most. Magic Crash is a great skill. Now for your new mobbing skill in third job. I believe heroes still have this skill. Sorry, I'm lagging, as I usually do. And it's just a 3-line attack. It's pretty fast. I'm trying not to lag here so I can show you how fast it is. Not helping. So there we go. Yeah, it's very fast. Does 3 lines. It's pretty strong. And I believe that's it for third job. Yeah, the rest are all passive. Fourth job. So when I use Radiant Cross, I'm actually going to have a cross come out when I use it, which is a hyper passive. So you won't actually get this until later on when you add into this. But just know that when you're first fourth job and you don't see that cross pop up, it's totally fine. You get this later on. It's called Radiant Cross Spread. So, fourth job skills. When you use Royal Guard successfully, you reduce the damage that you take by 10% from HP attacks. This is your bossing skill, and it attacks 2 enemies, a max of 2 enemies, and it has a chance to blind the enemy as well. So when you hit them, there's a chance that they could be hit with the status effect of blind. There we go. And remember what I said before, the third job passive, you get crit, final damage and crit rate on enemies that are blinded or any kind of status. Radiant Cross is your mobbing skill. It's pretty good. I know a lot of people wow, what was that? I know a lot of people miss the old laser that Mihile used to have. But I like this attack because it hits multiple platforms. Even though I'm lagging, so I can't really show you, but whatever. You get the idea. Once you actually play Mihile yourself, you'll see. It hits 2 platforms, it's pretty high range. Distance-wise, it's okay distance, it's not, like, terrible. But yeah, you can hit multiple platforms. Oh, I should probably show you... Did I show the bossing skill already? Like, how many times did I show it? Probably not enough. Anyway. Rolling Soul. So this is just your toggle skill. Once you turn it on, you only attack 1 enemy, but your final damage is increased and your crit damage is increased. And then the rest are passives. You get Stance and Maple Warrior. Hyper skills. These are the hyper passives I put in. Pretty normal stuff, just damage and line numbers. Charging Light, which is your 170 hyper. I'll show the 150 hyper first. So the 150 hyper, Sacred Cube, once you activate it, it's weird, it says like Royal Guard defense possible for 1 round, and I had no idea what that meant until I used it. So let's say I miss a Royal Guard. Then the next time that I take damage, within a few seconds, the Royal Guard will activate. So let's say I miss a Royal Guard right there, I walk into him, and it activates. So it just gives you a more leeway for your Royal Guard. Charging Light, when an enemy is hit with it, they get a debuff that allows you and your party to do 10% more damage. And then the last one is just 10% damage increase, it's whatever. Every class gets that. Not every, but most. And that's about it for now. So something I forgot to mention is that the main bossing attack has a low % chance to activate darkness on an enemy. But if you use Rolling Cross's cross that you see right there, it has a 100% chance to activate darkness. So what you want to do is just make sure that the boss is hit with it, and then you can have the free, crit and final damage. And then just Royal Guard whenever you can. So that you get your damage increase. And I'm going to go ahead and use Magic Crash, just in case he tries to do Damage Reflect. So as you can see, Magic Crash stopped his damage reflect so I can keep attacking. It prevents all buffs from happening. And that's Mihile's bossing.